And we are wrestling with WWE Badd Blood. It takes place next next Saturday from Atlanta, Georgia, the State Farm Arena.
My hometown, baby.
And yeah, the show as a whole, I mean, it's pretty basic WWE formula. 5 matches on the card. Maybe a little bit higher quality than we've seen on these PLEs for quite some time. But the show as a whole, what are your thoughts on the card?
I mean, it's going to be hard to pick a main event out of this, to be quite honest. You can make an argument why Punk McIntyre should be main event. You can make an argument Cody and Roman should be that main event. All in all, these are the matches I think. And people were like, why was that B show in Berlin? that C show that became a B show because the crowd? Because this show is the show to set up Survivor Series. That's why.
Some of it, but some of it is blood.
This show is this card is the card to set up Survivor Series.
And I'm personally going to call it. I'm going to say Cody and Roman starts the night. Punk and McIntyre ends the night. I don't think you open a show with Hell in a Cell. I think you end the show with Hell in a Cell. That being said, let's get into it. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Coca-Cola and Jacob Fuck You in a tag team match. Who wins? Kaliko.
It's weird. This is interesting because it's like, if the Bloodline wins, there's no sense of them going back. However, I think they might. I personally think this might be no contest.
Okay. So small as finish.
Because I could see it being a chaotic finish in which the other members try to jump in and save Solo from getting pinned, and it just goes all to shit after that, thus setting up Roman and them in the War Games. Also, it's going to be interesting when Jacob and Roman hit it on. I think that's the one that everyone's waiting on. They wait on them two to hit heads quick. So that, because I don't see Cody taking another pin. I don't see Roman taking a pin. I don't see Fatu taking a pin. And I damn sure don't see Solo taking a pin. So who's taking the pin?
Kind of how I saw it playing out was Cody and Roman don't necessarily trust each other, and they most certainly don't like each other. So, and obviously the Bloodline is a unit at this point, and they would take advantage of that. I want to say that Cody takes the pinfall, but like you said, Cody wouldn't be able to take a pinfall right now. I mean, you would just be repeating what you did at Money in the Bank. And the story really isn't with Cody. It's with Roman and Solo. So, and I mean, Roman, he's coming off the biggest loss of his career against Cody. Have Solo pin Roman. That's where the story is. That's what people want to see. So, you
So
know,
you have Roman get pinned twice in 6 months when he only took one, two, in 5 years.
okay, I'll, I will always die on this hill. I will always go back to this. Who was the most dominant IWGP champion of all time? Kazuchika Okada. He lost that title. He dyed his hair red and started coming out with a balloon. And he could not buy a win after he lost that title for a good 6 months. So he didn't start getting W's until he got into the G1. So Roman's already at his lowest point right now. He's at rock bottom. He lost Jimmy, he lost the Wise Man, he lost his bloodline, he lost the Chili Peppers, he lost the table, he literally lost
The Ulafala.
that too. He literally lost everything. So, I mean, I don't think a pinfall loss is going to hurt him at this point. He's kind of already at rock bottom.
True. However, I mean, I can't see Cody taking the pin in Atlanta and Roman taking a pin where he played his alma mater, although he couldn't beat Georgia, so that's a whole nother thing. He called himself the tribal chief, but Georgia was the tribal chief when he played. But that's a whole nother story. I just can't see it. I see where you're going. I just think they hold someone taking this pin until Survivor Series.
Well, I could also see, Roman saying after the match, you wasn't a good tag team partner. Fuck off. I'll find my own. I'll find my own people to fight this battle. Which is, that will start, the Bloodline versus Bloodline story arc.
Mm, but somehow, I just don't see anyone taking the pin because if you're wanting a certain person to come back, they're going to have to come back to cost that person to take the pin.
Who are you thinking?
The Rock. So if you're wanting that guy to come back, he's going to have to come back to screw somebody over to have them cost the match and take a pin. And I don't, unless they're pulling that trigger on that Bad Blood, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get The Rock at Bad Blood. I don't think that.
Right. So
I don't think he's going to factor into
to me,
that much.
ah, I mean,
I This is how I could see it going.
Okay.
Roman beats Solo. Roman secures the spot at the head of the table once again. And The Rock comes back and says, you don't deserve to be head of the table because you let all that shit happen. So I have to take it from you.
I don't see. My question, I mean, maybe Solo's taking the pin. Okay, let's put it this way. If it wouldn't make sense for Roman to get the Ula Fala back from a tag match.
Right. And
right?
I can't see them take Jacob Fatu taking an L right now, taking a pinfall
Oh
victory.
hell no, he ain't taking no L.
Yeah,
Fuck all
that
that.
that that seems very unlikely.
The way they've been putting his ass this year, no, he ain't taking shit.
Yeah, agreed. So I mean,
It's just,
yeah,
it's either, so the only person that could take the pin, the only three, it would be Cody, Roman, or Solo. You could see Solo taking the pin because Solo's kind of like this chief in Mark's clothing. He's already taken a gang of pins, and it wouldn't be surprising for him to take one more.
correct. But what does that necessarily do for the storyline?
Unless the bloodline takes Cody out and he's on his own, that's the only way I see that happening. Cody, the inverse. Or Roman's just still pissed at him about Mania.
Could no, no, I don't think that would work. They intro Cody before the match, and then Jey gets inserted into it somehow. Kaliko?
Hmm. No, I'm just thinking it. It's a,
Oop, oop, and we lost Kaliko. It's been a while since Kaliko has just died, if he was ever really here to begin with. Respawn. Wait, did you hear the last thing I said? It was that Jey replaces Cody in the match.
hell no, he ain't replacing Cody unless they pull a CM Punk in 2008
When did what was
and
the?
beat his ass in the parking lot to where he can't go. But even then, I don't see Jay coming back.
I mean Jimmy, if he's healthy.
Jimmy, yes. Jay, hell no. Jay too busy, homie.
All right, so I'm calling it. Solo gets the pinfall victory over Roman Reigns. What is your final?
Ooh.
What's your final prediction on this match?
I'm going ballsy, no contest, due to mayhem and anarchy. Although my mind is telling me Cody Roman, I can't see them both losing.
All right, that brings us to the WWE Women's Championship match: Nia Jax versus Bayley. Who wins? Kaliko.
I'm conflicted, but I think
Yeah, I mean
Nia gets the win.
she literally just won it, so it doesn't make
She,
sense.
I mean, we said that about Braun, but the difference is Nia has been actually she's been good. Contrary to what people may want to think, this has been probably the best she's ever been.
I think that's because of partly due to the storyline that the story she's telling with Tiffy.
Which
So
is a good story.
yeah, but the story is, when is she going to put the knife in her back?
I mean, but that's women in general, sir. Oh,
Okay, but this isn't the Housewives of Atlanta, Kaliko. This is WWE. I mean, you know that it's going to come. You're just waiting for it to happen. I low key, I kind of feel like Tiffy has to be the one that beats Nia for the title. If I'm being honest, the way that she's
I think
treating
so.
her and abusing her, it just feels like it would be the right storyline move to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm, possible. I mean, yeah, it would make sense.
But
It makes sense.
I don't think Tiffy is cashing in on this particular night. So, yeah, Nia.
But I don't see. I mean, but the only way I see Tiffy catching in is if it's Tiffy turning face, and I don't see Tiffy turning face.
Low key, Tiffy's kind of already a face, if I'm being honest. She gets pops.
Her demeanor does not scream face.
I mean, a lot of, the top faces don't get, or the demeanor don't scream face. But people just kind of respond to them. And people respond to Tiffy. Tiffany Stratton.
People respond to Tiffy because they think people respond to Tiffy because they think Tiffy's hot. It's not because they think Tiffy. Not saying that she can't wrestle, but that has a hell of an element to it. It's not like they're going when Tiffy's in a 1-on-1. It's not like they're cheering Tiffy.
Um, no, no, they're cheering Tiffy. I
So,
haven't seen her matches.
so they're yelling, "Let's go, Tiffy!"
No, they usually chant Tiffy time, or let's go Tiff. Well, actually, no, it's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. She low key, she was one
It's
of the
Tiffy
hottest wrestler in
time.
Australia, so
She's
she's
the
getting
hottest wrestler in
she's getting those pops. She's getting that.
She's not the hottest wrestler in Australia. That is Emma, sir.
Who?
Emma.
I mean, performing in.
Die on that hill. I'm dying on that hill.
I'm talking about people that performed at the Elimination Chamber event in Australia. Not,
Hey, I'm just saying.
relevance of hotness. Of how beautiful they are.
hey, hey, I took that as a disrespect, sir.
Let's get into the next match. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Singles match. Who wins?
Ooh, Damien's been working to get to Finn. If Damien wins, Rhea's losing. If Rhea wins, Damien's losing.
Okay, so you're going either or.
So I think storyline, this would say Finn gets the win. Because it sets up Damien being even more angry to get to him. I think like a JD McDonough causes in the match, a Dom causes in the match.
Right.
Although I think Dom might be more involved with Liv, so I think this is a JD McDonough. This calls for McDonough Carlito.
Right.
Which is, I mean, Carlito is essentially the Latin R-Truth of this.
And that's cool. No, I see that this is, you can't give Priest what he wants, and what he wants is a pound of flesh on Balor. And And it's just a singles match. This has to, the blow off has to be some type of stipulation. Um, Low key, I could see this lasting till Mania, but depending on what they want to do at the Rumble, maybe Elimination Chamber be the last of it. Um, Depending on what they have planned for Priest. Um, that being said, I think that Balor's gonna win this one. Um, it makes the most sense to me.
Yep.
All right. Women's World Championship match. Dirty Dominic Mysterio will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Who wins, Kaliko?
All this screams Rhea has the advantage, and that's why Liv is gonna win. Sorry, you gotta keep it a buck, son.
One might say it's dire for Rhea to win, but who's counting?
I mean, yeah, it's and the reason I say that because remember they got their pound of flesh at Bash of Berlin,
Right.
not the. And that's where it's like, do you see Liv really losing twice in a row?
It wouldn't necessarily make sense.
Right. So that's
Yeah. I do think that Liv does need more of a run with it. Other than, fantastic storytelling, Liv hasn't defended that title too much. I mean, she's defended against Selena Vega and Rhea Ripley in like 120 days. Two title defenses. So I do kind of feel like she needs a little bit more of a match run with it in order for people to take her seriously as, champion.
well, the thing is not the fact that her championship run is not predicated on being the best champion. It's predicated on how she got the championship.
True. Which is dumb.
And which is Dom, and as long as Dom is around, she's gonna be the champion. And not to mention that the person who she beat for the title really wasn't Rhea. It was Becky.
Yeah.
We seem to forget that because the way that this went, you would have thought Liv beat Rhea for the title.
I mean, true, but she did rectify that by beating her at SummerSlam. So, like, there is no question that, she is the champion and, not like interim.
I mean, yeah, she is. I'm not saying that that's the case. It. What I'm trying to say is that the title was secondary in the sense of her just getting the revenge on and getting in the head of Rhea and making her world come down.
Right.
That was the angle. So whether Rhea wins or not, it's secondary. I mean, Rhea's looking at it from a title standpoint, but for a couple months, she was looking at it from a I've been betrayed and kicked out standpoint.
True. Let's say Rhea wins. No. Let's say Liv wins this match. Where does Rhea go from here? Do you continue the rivalry or do you send Rhea on a detour?
Well, she's not gonna touch Naya.
No.
And plus, they already wrestled, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
at
that
Elimination
ain't
Chamber
happening.
in Australia.
That ain't happening. So, but the thing is, this Rhea is in that same element as Roman. Like, they don't really need the title.
True, but I mean, you still have to do something with them for people to be invested in them.
I mean, at this point, her trying to get the revenge on Liv is there, and they still have to set up a women's war games.
Okay, so you're thinking women's war games. Oh, well, that would make a lot of sense if they did Liv and the Fuse and Lesbian collection versus Rhea Ripley and Damage Control. Because apparently Damage Control are faces now. Like, who the fuck saw that coming?
Not I, said the cat.
Oh, but maybe it's not Damage Control. Maybe it's Bianca and uh, what is her name? Jade Cargill.
True. Well, they're the hosts, so it ain't like they got shit to do. And may I say, WWE, really? Really? Bianca Belair? Y'all sent a Tennessee volunteer to the home of the Bulldogs? How dare you? Um, a whole nother topic for another day. But with that being said, yeah, I could see them going in the War Games. And it's not going to be like a Raw SmackDown, so it could be Damage Control adding a Liv with the lesbian. Who said the lesbian fusion collection? Oh God! But it can happen. I mean,
I mean, it would make sense at this point if you're going to do Raw War Games, and especially if a SmackDown has the men's War Games.
true.
But I think we can all agree that it's going to be Bloodline um in the men's War Games.
Which is a SmackDown ish war male war games.
Yeah, very true. Alright, so we agreed Liv Morgan wins, Smar's finish, Dominic Mysterio sneaks something out of the cage.
Somehow sneaks his ass up the cage.
Yeah. Alright, um, then we have, what we're assuming is the main event, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Who wins, Kaliko?
Ooh, uh, this is interesting. I think Drew wins.
Ooh,
Seth causes Punk the match.
what makes you think Seth is going to be involved?
Because as much as he hates Drew, he really despises Punk.
True.
And Punk, Punk being, how can I put it? Oh, well, wait a minute. Seth has been getting his ass, Seth got his ass drugged out by, he got tsunami'd out. Never mind. Um, hmm. So I'm trying to think this through then. Actually, here's how it could go. Because Punk is going to eventually get to Gunther. So I'm thinking either Punk wins, gets to Gunther, Seth fucks him over then, or Seth causes Punk now and it just goes down the line. Because keep in mind, before our guy Sanabied his ass out, they were getting ready to fight.
Right.
So, so it's there for it's set up easily for them to fight. It's ready for them to duke it out. It's just a matter of when is it get started, and it has to get started from here because keep in mind, Seth still ain't over the fact that he got cost the title by Punk.
That's right. I mean, there's no real reason why, you know, they just don't like each other. Like that's
I mean,
literally
honestly,
the
all
whole.
three don't like each other, but both of them really don't like Punk.
Okay, so if Punk, what you're saying is McIntyre wins. So where does McIntyre go after beating Punk?
I mean, whoever's winning this match is getting the Gunther match.
I would say so, yeah.
So, so my thing is this: Drew has been spending the whole time trying to right the wrong to get to that point in the first place. And it seems more apropos for him to try to get the Gunther, considering that they had a banger that they didn't get the, they had some business they didn't get to finish, and Punk and Seth can start their journey to Mania, uh, to WrestleMania, because Seth is gonna allegedly be the heel in this, and if he's going to be the heel in this, it would make sense if he costs Punk the match.
Okay, so I feel like Punk wins the match, but it can't necessarily. Okay, let's say that he has a match with Gunther after this. Maybe Seth Rollins. Maybe Seth Rollins cost him that match. The thing I get what you're saying, and it makes like perfect sense to me. But I can't really see Punk losing this match, especially we have as of where we are right now with our predictions, we have a very heel heavy winning streak here. Liv, Finn, Nia, possibly the Bloodline as well, all heels. So I mean, the a face needs to win one match on this card, right?
Not necessarily.
I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, it's still you need to send the fans home happy at the end of the night.
Jey
So,
Uso, they.
well, we're sorry that CM Punk lost this match, but oh wait, what's this? It's Jey Uso. Uso, do the yeet thing, do the arm thing. Yes, you don't remember CM Punk losing. You don't remember this being a horrible night.
Yeah, yeet the night away. There you
Yeah,
go.
I feel like Punk has to win. It That's what they've been building up to, so that's kind of where they have to go with it. Um, to your point, I don't see him beating Gunther, but I could definitely see McIntyre beating Gunther. And then if we go to Royal Rumble, maybe Punk wins Rumble, and then you get and then somehow somewhere in there of you get Rollins sneaks his way into the match, and then you have triple threat: Punk, McIntyre Rollins at the main event of WrestleMania.
Mm, I think Punk Rollins is going to be a match without the title because that is just about they just straight up. See, that's the good thing about those three because the title is not needed. Because at this point, it's just that I don't like the fact that you're here.
Right. And I mean, that's enough
And
to sell tickets, but I still feel like there does need to be, you need to sprinkle in something new to keep the
mm,
rivalry going.
you don't need to sprinkle something new. You just need to sprinkle in a new perspective. And they have so many layers of perspectives to take. Because there's so much because at this point it's eye for an eye at this point.
That it is.
The whole thing is literally the Punk Rollins McIntyre feud is eye for an eye and everybody's going blind.
Just tell, just ask Rey Mysterio about that.
Oh yeah. Somehow he got an eye back. But
Yeah, like even like in comic books, it's like if you have regenerative abilities, but you can't regenerate an eye. Fucking Rey Mysterio, say that to Rey Mysterio.
I know. First man to grow his eye back after getting it popped out.
Yeah, must be a chameleon or some shit.
Shit. I mean, you know what? Maybe those things aren't contact lenses. Maybe those are different
Eye
just different
replacement
versions of his
surgery.
eye. Like Jesus Christ, this motherfucker got like 38 eyes. But all right, yes.
Alright, so you are going with Drew McIntyre.
I it, I see all of it. I think it's in Toronto.
It's in Georgia.
No, it's about Survivor. Oh no, Survivor Series in Vancouver.
Yeah.
With that being said, it might be Punk. Because what better way to get Punk screwed than a Canadian screw job too?
Okay. So a Vancouver
Just
screw job.
the Vancouver screw. I can't think of a word that starts with V. That
Vindictive.
the vindictive Vancouver. No. Oh God. I can't even think of it. I mean, it is what it is.
What match are they screwing CM Punk at Survivor Series?
You say what?
I mean, you said that they're screwing him at Survivor Series. What match are they screwing him in?
I think Rollins screws him.
Okay, but we're talking about Bad Blood in Georgia.
Oh, Bad Blood in Georgia? I mean, Punk will win. If Punk wins, he goes this. It could go so many ways. If Punk wins, he goes to Vancouver and gets screwed by Rollins. If he loses that night because of Rollins. The question is, can you hold all of that for another October, 3 months to Indy? Could you hold that to Indy to see them at the Rumble?
I mean, I think you can. But, who is Punk wrestling at Survivor Series? Gunther?
He would have to wrestle Gunther because he's already made it clear that he thought it was over and going after Gunther. Because he wants the gold, sucker.
I mean, but it kind of seems like too that Sammy is getting the title shot at Gunther in November at Survivor Series.
I mean, in Vancouver?
I mean,
Man, he's having a hell of a time getting title matches in Vancouver. Like, shit.
I mean, if they did Sammy Gunther at the show, I would say yeah, it would be more plausible for Punk to wrestle him at Survivor Series. But we haven't got Sammy versus Gunther yet, so.
We had Sammy Gunther at Mania. What the hell are you talking about?
I mean for the World Championship. You know what I mean.
Nobody gives a fuck about the World Champion, man. I get it. I get it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get it. So then that means Drew would have to win. Because it wouldn't make sense for Drew or Punk to win and get Gunther. Unless they're doing it something like a Saturday night main event.
I mean, that's a possibility. You have Punk waiting in the wings for the winner of Sammy Gunther.
You really think Sammy gonna beat Gunther?
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. We know that he's going to, but the winner of the match. But we know that it's going to be Gunther. But let him be in the box eating popcorn while he watched the match.
No, doing the Bret Hart stare in '95, staring at the TV with his pecs out. That's how it should be done.
All right. So, Punk or Drew, who wins the match definitively?
Oh, definitively.
No backsies.
Toss him. Punk won the first one. Drew won the first one. Punk won the second one. And he really didn't. I'll give Punk the benefit of the doubt.
All right, so we'll agree. Punk for the win.
Jesus, I can't believe I've said that.
That will conclude our coverage of WWE Badd Blood. This preview. It's next Saturday, so we'll do a review in 2 weeks.
Which is another month of Guess That Rating.
Yes, and somewhere in there will be Wrestle Wet Dream that we'll be doing as well. I'm sure we'll all have fun with that.
Wrestle Dream's on the 12th. So yeah, it's going to be an okay month for wrestling. Wrestle Dream, yeah, it's coming along.
Yeah, and then obviously Survivor Series and whatever AEW decides to do in November. Maybe get canceled, but we could only dream.
Damn. They're not getting canceled, man. Come on.
I'm just being mean. But of course, continue watching us for our reviews, our previews, and everything else. Thank you.
It's. Keep in mind, we still got Joe Hendry trying to get the TNA title.
That's right. Against Nick Nanek. Later.
That's in October. So, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
It's turning out to be a
Who watches baseball in October? Let's all watch wrestling.
I know. Lee. Oh yeah, is Lee Ying Lee is in TNA too.
Who?
You remember the Chinese girl Xia Li?
Oh yeah, Xia Li.
Xia Li, there you go. Xia Li. I don't know why I said Shia. But yeah, Xia Li, yeah, she's in TNA now.
Good for her.
Yay, yay.
And in a
Yay,
couple months, she'll be
yay.
back on NXT TV. How
No.
the
How dare you?
circle of life. Dun.
No.
Right. Thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Mick Vanula, and this Wednesday as we interview Pumi. And join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new and incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Dread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
You can find me trying to catch up on all this wrestling at I Am Kaliko.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I am James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.